Hello everyone, my name's Wei, and in this video I hope to help you determine your tax filing status. Why is it so important to know what your filing status is? Well, it is because filing status determines the amount of standard deduction and tax credits you can receive, which in turn affects the total taxes you pay. There are 5 types of filing statuses. You can file as married filing jointly, qualifying widow or widower, head of household, single, or married filing separately. The reason why I put them in this order is because you get the most tax advantages filing as married filing jointly, followed by qualifying widow or widower, and so on. Married filing separately is the worst way to file taxes. You can be qualified for multiple filing statuses, but be sure to always pick the most tax advantageous status. Let's look at who qualifies to file married filing jointly. If you were married on the last day of the year and live with your spouse all of the last 6 months of the year, you can file married filing jointly. If you were not married on the last day of the year, and the reason you were not married was because your spouse passed away during the tax year, you can also file married filing jointly. Let's see who qualifies to file as qualifying widow or widower. If your spouse passed away in 1 or 2 years prior to tax year, you did not remarry and you pay more than half the cost of keeping up your home. You also had dependent child living in your home all year. You are qualified to file as qualifying widow or widower. Keep in mind, all these conditions need to be satisfied. Now let's look at who qualifies to file as head of household. If you were not married on the last day of the year and pay more than half the cost of keeping up your home, you also had a qualifying child or relative that lived with you for more than half the year, then you can file as head of household. Another scenario is that you were married, but you and your spouse lived apart last 6 months of the year. You decided to file a separate tax return, and you had a qualifying dependent that lived with you for more than half the year. You paid more than half the cost of keeping up your home, and you claim exemption for the dependent. In this scenario, you can file as head of household. Let's move on to single filing status. This is very common among millennials. If you were not married on the last day of the year and it was not due to the spouse passing away during the tax year, also you did not have any qualifying dependents, your filing status is single. And finally, married filing separately. Remember that this is the worst filing status because you essentially give up many tax credits and even deductions. So avoid doing this if you can. If you were married on the last day of the year and for whatever reason you and your spouse lived apart all of the last 6 months of the year, you had no qualifying dependents, then you qualify to file married filing separately. Another scenario is if you were married on the last day of the year and lived with your spouse all of the last 6 months of the year, but for whatever reason you want to file separately. Again, this is not recommended, but everyone has their reason for doing things. This covers all filing statuses. If you find this video useful and would like to see more, subscribe to my channel. My name is Wei, and thank you for watching.